All right, y'all. Welcome back to Relationship Wise. I'm your boy Terall, and this is
Tasia.
Yeah. Today we talking a little bit about self-care. But before we get started, I already know the drill. Stop playing. Y'all been here long enough. And if you haven't been here, welcome. All right, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Okay. We definitely gonna put a link to Instagram as well. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram. I need to make sure I have a clickable link because just in case people watching this on their phone, because normally I just put up the QR code. But I'm gonna try to put up a clickable link.
Just put the app, our ads on the name.
Yeah, I'll do that too. But it's easier to and it is anyway.
It's kind of hard to do in a video though.
Oh, okay. All right, so we'll figure it out. But yeah, so go ahead and follow us on Instagram as well. And if you're listening on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, go ahead and follow the page for us. Help us grow, man. We're here to help y'all. We want y'all to enjoy. Give us any comments, feedback, anything that give us whatever star rating you feel like we deserve. We trying to grow. We trying to figure out how to be better. Yeah. We want to build community with y'all. So yeah. Let's get into it. So today we're talking about self-care, as I mentioned before.
Like a self-care and balance within relationships.
Yeah, because that's important. I feel like sometimes people get lost in their romantic relationships or even, parent-child relationships. They kind of mistake their duty to their partner, their child, to even work sometimes. They don't take care of themselves and they don't realize like the smartest thing you ever do is take care of yourself while you're in those relationships, while you're trying to hold up those dynamics. So let's see, which one are we starting? Well, so let's start with the pillars of self-care.
So we have physical self-care. It involves activities that improve physical health, such as regular exercise, proper nutrition, sufficient sleep, and health care. Benefits includes increased energy, improved health, and enhanced physical strength.
Right. So generally, making sure you work out on a consistent basis. Take care of yourself, man. Take care of your body because, working out is always good for your mental health, right?
Yeah.
So the next pillar of self-care is emotional self-care, which focuses on understanding, accepting, and respecting one's feelings, right? Activities like journaling, therapy, and open communication with loved ones are key. Benefits include better emotional resilience, improved mood, and stronger relationships, right? The last one, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, the last one is mental self-care.
Yep.
Encompasses activities that stimulate the mind and reduce mental stress. This includes reading, puzzles, learning new skills, practicing mindfulness. Benefits are improved cognitive functions, reduced stress, and positive outlook on life.
Right.
Out of these three, which one? Well, I already know the answer, but out of these three, I was like, which one do you think that you practice the most?
Ooh, definitely physical self-care because I work out at least 2-3 times a week. I love me a good workout, and honestly, when I used to go to therapy, my therapist said like, that's a good, it's just a good outlet, like, because when you go for a walk, that 30-minute walk can help you with a lot of things. It can help you clear your mind. It can help you get out some of that frustration. The general movement is always one of the best things. So what about you, baby? What do you think? What self-care routine on here do you think you do the most?
I mean, because lately I've been reading, so I guess it would have to be mental self-care.
Okay, yeah.
Because they mentioned reading, and I was on like a bit. I kind of fell off a little bit. But reading for sure. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, and I feel like I want you to get back to reading because I feel like that was low-key one of your little passions that you like develop. And I was like, girl, you'll finish a book within 4 days, and I
walk around with a book in my purse. The whole time, just in case. Like lately, I've been doing when I was reading consistently, I would read at work. Yeah, in the downtime that we had, but it's been a little
hectic,
more busier than normal, so I haven't had the time to actually read the book while I'm at work. So I guess because I haven't had time to read the book, then I'll be reading when I get home because I'm just mentally tired from the work day. Yeah. But I walk around with it. It's in my purse right now. Okay. So I always got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the event that I'm able to pick it up and finish where I left off.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I need to be like that. Sure. Because
Mm-hmm.
listen, work has been hectic as fuck for me too. Okay. Excuse me. But
Mm-hmm.
it's been hectic as HE double hockey sticks out here. Cause, and I feel like I want to make sure, especially over the summer, I'm a teacher. So we're going to have summer vacation off. Hopefully. We'll see. But, it's something I definitely want to focus on is getting into my, you know, my emotional health and my mental. Cause I feel like I look, you've been thinking about going back to therapy just because I want to have a consistent growth pattern.
Okay.
Because I feel like I got that with working out. I got that with wanting the podcast to grow. I got that with wanting to help us keep a certain level of growth in our relationship. So I feel like I want to make sure as I'm growing or as everything else is growing, I'm growing. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
definitely want to get back into that. Definitely. So I might start this summer. We'll see. But yeah.
And what are some outside of like the 3 pillars, but like what are some of the self-care things that you do for yourself now?
So outside of the 3 pillars,
yeah. I mean, just in general, like within because we're talking about self-care and relationships. What do you do?
Yeah.
For yourself.
So I think some of the things that I always do, one of the things I always do is meditate. Right.
Oh yeah, I do notice that you do that
I meditate almost every morning, every weekday morning. You know, and I love just watching a good show. I love what else do I do? I also like reading too. You know, I love me a good self-help book. So those are my 3 top ones that I do on, I guess, on a consistent basis outside of working out. And another thing that I want to start doing a little bit more is scheduling more time with friends. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like friends help you with your mental health and they help you kind of, you know, just recharge and re-energize yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah. What about you, baby? Besides the things that are on the list, what else do you do?
Besides the pillars? Reading. I mean, because self-care is like about doing stuff by yourself and in your alone time. So as of lately, it's been like going to get my nails done. So it's been my hour away from home, just taking care of myself.
Yeah.
Or just maybe you may be in the living room, I'm in the room, I'm watching my own show and just relaxing type of thing. So that's really what I do right now. I mean, I could probably do more, but
yeah,
right now that's it.
Yeah, I mean, but also self-care can be done with other people.
Yeah, I know, like spending more time with friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But right now, that's what I'm doing.
Got you. Okay. Interesting. The next question I think I had was, what's another form of self-care you want to try more of, like journaling, being creative writing, cook. Well, you already do. You cook a lot, but you know, creative cooking or like trying new recipes from scratch, which I know you. Listen, yeah, my wife can cook. Thank the Lord. Amen. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I guess trying new recipes that could be therapeutic and relaxing. Well, I don't know about relaxing, but it's just something to do outside of what you normally do.
Yeah.
What else I would want to do? I guess spend more time with friends and
spend more time with your God, baby.
yeah. That's all I can think of right now.
What about journaling or something like that?
I don't see myself journaling.
You don't?
Because when I think of something of self-care or anything that I do, really, I try to think about the longevity that I want to do it. I may say it because with journaling, I can be like, okay, I'm gonna journal, do it for like a week, and then I'm done with it.
Fall off.
Yeah, because it ain't like that ain't nothing that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
Versus like when I say I want to read books, I remember in the past I would try to read like a whole lot of self-help books and da-da-da-da. And then I would read a couple chapters and then be like, I'm done with this. I ain't reading this no more. And then I fall off on reading. So when I started at the beginning of the year, I started to read more books that I would find interesting.
Yeah, novels.
Yeah, novels. So a lot of them have been romance. I tried to get into a fantasy book, which I did read one fantasy book. Well, it's like a romance fantasy book.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All the romance books that I read, there was only one book that I picked out that I didn't really care for. So, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like instead of forcing myself to continue to try to read it,
Yeah.
I just set it to the side. Maybe I'll come back to it because a lot of people said it was good,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe I'll come back to it and I moved on to the next book.
Yeah.
And continue to read. So I'm finding that if I want to do something, I have to do something that I'm interested in. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
not interested in it and I
Yeah.
have no desire to want to read it
Mm-hmm.
or
Forget what
do
pop
it,
culture say. Yeah.
yeah, then I'm
Yeah.
not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no matter how many times you be like, oh, it's good, you should read it, you should do it. If I already know that I'm not gonna like it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna even force myself.
Facts. That's fair.
That's
That's
like
fair.
what I was telling about you. Like, I just know how I am when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
When we was in the mall and I was like, oh, the coffee machine. I really want that coffee machine, but I know me. I
Mm-hmm.
drink coffee, but not like
Daily.
a lot for
Mm-hmm.
me to go ahead and buy a coffee machine.
Yeah.
It'll be wasting my money.
Yeah. And I don't drink coffee at all, so
Exactly.
it'll be a
So
waste of my money because I'm gonna have to buy it for her. Yeah, you feel me? So, but she be like, "Babe, can you buy this for me, please?" I mean, she got her money, but
Mhm.
yeah, I feel you.
So when I do self-care things,
Yeah.
or when I think about doing self-care things,
Mm-hmm.
journaling wouldn't be one of them because, to be honest, I'll probably do it once and then never do it again because it just,
Mm-hmm.
I don't just find an interest in it.
Yeah, that's fair. I think one thing that I have to probably get back to once my life kind of calms down a bit is not necessarily journaling, but music writing or poetry writing.
Okay.
Because I love being with a beat. I love making music. I love that, and it is therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? It's a form of self-care. You know what I'm saying? We literally got mics, we got interfaces, so I can make music at any time. So and it's weird though because a part of me, as much as I think I love music and I always do it and always want to do it, it's weird wanting to put it out on a consistent basis because I feel like music is so different now. It's like you have to be a version of yourself that you don't necessarily want to be in order to make it. Now you should try. I should still try. I should still do it. But it's a little, just the way the music industry is now is a little crazy to me. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I feel like journaling or poetry writing, music writing will be another way for me to get back into, or another avenue of self-care for me. So
Okay.
I might want to explore that. But yeah.
And then what is it? So I found this little, it's like a diagram. Let's say the balancing of self-care relationships. So there's self-care, which is activities that nourish your personal, physical, mental, and emotional well-being. There's joint self-care, which is shared activities that benefit both parties in the relationship.
Yeah.
And then there's partner care, activities that strengthen the bond and understanding in your relationship.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty cool because I never thought of it like that. I mean, obviously you'll do things together in yourself, but I was like, to see it in this diagram was like, oh. And then gave the little description.
Yeah. Self-care. So what do you think about joint self-care? What do you think some joint self-care things we can do? Shared activities that benefit both parties and the relationship. I feel like a part of self-care, and I think we talked about it on a couple episodes ago, is building things together. I feel like that would be kind of dope for us to do, like DIY home projects.
Yeah.
I feel like if we get the formula and the days of us working out together, I feel like that'll be a good way to like do joint self-care. Cause I feel like that if I become like a little bit of your coach, you know what I'm saying? Be like, all right, babe, today we finna do upper body. We finna do X, Y, Z, this workout, that workout. All right, let's go. And then we go to the gym and we just get it done. And it's like a 30, 45-minute session. We done, boom. I feel like that'll be really dope. And I feel like you'll enjoy that too. So I don't know. Just a thought though.
And what about partner care?
Partner care, activities that strengthen the bond and understanding in your relationship. Something that I think will strengthen our bond. I don't know. I feel like I feel like something like sharing some of our, like having shared interests. Like, I feel part of me, I think low key would love to get into novels like you. Because I feel like if we started either reading a book together or like so say for example, like some of the books you were recommending that I have or I read, I think that'll be a cool one to do. Like we both read a book together. You'll probably finish before I do. But let's say well technically in the summertime, let's say we both start a book like maybe a week or so after school is done for me. If we both start the book at the same time, we'll probably be done around the same time because I have the time to actually sit and read it. Yeah. So what do you call it? I feel like that'll be kind of cool. You know what I mean? Or even that's a good one. Now you got me really thinking. I feel like we could find a way to finesse that, yo.
And it got me thinking too, because I'm like, partner care. I've never thought what could we do? Just because it says this strengthens the bond and understanding your relationships. I'm like, what is more of a deeper thing that you can do to strengthen your relationship?
I feel like if we took up like a class together, like a painting class or like a not necessarily or a cooking class or a pottery class, I feel like that'll be kind of dope. That'll be remember how we talked about like a salsa dancing class or some shit like that. I feel like if we did something like that, because one, that's a workout. Two, it kind of builds our intimacy and our bond. Three, we learn a new skill set. You know what I'm saying? We can show off on vacation like this. You feel me? Stop playing. You know, that'll be dope. That'll be dope. You know, so I have to look into that. Yeah. Y'all go ahead and subscribe so we get this money so we can take this. All right, stop playing. Stop playing.
And then we can bring y'all along.
You feel me? Listen, vlog. Hey, listen. All right, yeah. So yeah, I feel like that'll be really dope, though, baby. That'll be lit. No lie. No lie. But yeah, I think like stuff like that. Pottery classes would be dope too. Because I always want to learn how to make you know, I like the way this is going. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, all right. Yeah. But yeah. Partner care is dope. I like that.
What do you think is a lot of misconceptions that people have when it comes to like, I don't want to say self-care, but I'm talking about self-care, but when you do have your alone time in a relationship?
I think a lot of people look at self-care as being selfish, which isn't completely wrong, but it's not necessarily they look at it as being selfish and because selfish is seen as a bad thing, they think self-care is bad. Yeah. Right. And self-care and selfishness sometimes can be good. So I feel like you got to know when to take your breaks. You have to know when to treat yourself because you can't give from an empty cup or from an empty place. You can only give and you can only be as good as you treat yourself.
And you shouldn't feel bad if your partner wants to have some alone time.
Yeah. We champions of that in our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Listen, me and my wife, we watching different shows. We, you know, when I get home or whenever she gets home, we give each other about like an hour of time to like actually just sit and unwind, and we don't necessarily even bother each other. Luckily, that we luckily we don't have too much responsibilities once we come home. But you know, so I think we're really good at that. And I think even for some people that might even be strange, but it's like like give people their time to kind of unwind and get a glass of wine and you know what I'm saying, and vibe out. You know what I'm saying, like just kick your feet up, just be yourself because you kind of been on or you've been at work and you know. So don't look at self-care time as selfish. And because I mean, there are benefits to being selfish. There are things about you that I think you need to have time for yourself and care for yourself. So yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
yeah, man. Listen, ain't nothing wrong. And we in life we need balance, y'all. We need both selfishness and selflessness. So when you learn to balance the two, you good money because that's what we really need. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. You're gonna say something, baby?
I was looking at what I have here to see if that was picking up on what you were talking about, but it's something totally different.
Okay. But yeah, what about you? What misconceptions do you think people have about self-care?
Mainly what you say about being selfish, or a lot of people think that when they're in a relationship that we have to do things all the time together. And you don't. Or even if you choose to, that's fine too. But yeah, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people from like within our relationship, from the outside looking in, a lot of people may say that we always together.
Yeah.
But
they definitely do. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, we are, but that's because we locked in. Like,
ain't no switching up. Stop playing.
We have that type of relationship.
Yeah.
Like, we enjoy spending time with each other.
We do.
But then when we come from work, we on our separate time. Even if we on a weekend, sometimes you might be in a room and I'm watching something, or I'm out here. We doing our own separate thing. But then there's times when we come together, we want to watch a movie together, we want to watch this, or
listen. Quick. I'm sorry to cut you, baby. Quick self-care tip, y'all. Take a nap. Listen, naps are fire. Okay, I took a nap yesterday. I was like, and it was a good hour. I was one and done. I'm straight.
Even that, we do that together.
Yeah, we take naps together. Shit. Sometimes we schedule that bit on the weekend. I ain't gonna hold you,
and
bro.
And it's been some weekends where we like,
you know what? It's 4 o'clock. We tired.
He's like, I'm tired. I forget what weekend that was, and we literally
cut
the TV off, got in the bed, and just went to sleep.
We out. You feel me? Sure. Well, let's take a nap together. Okay? Yeah. All right. Sorry. But yeah. So definitely, man. I mean, naps, just finding those little things.
Some people from the outside see that we always together, which is true. But like I said, we like to spend time together. So that's just how we've been since the beginning.
Yeah. And
we always done things together. So that's not going to change now. But we do enjoy our separate time. So whether it's him going to the studio with his friends and stuff like that. In the beginning, I was like, oh, I want to go. Like, I want to tag along. But then I come to realize, I'm like,
nah,
I'll be bored when he's there. So I'm like, I just need to go ahead and stay home. And then I actually do enjoy being home alone or having that moment where I am home alone, because it doesn't happen often. Yeah. Because he's very rarely out doing something.
Yeah, that's true.
So when I do have that moment of home alone, I'm at peace and I'm just chilling by myself. It's great. Right. So if he want to go to the studio by himself or with his friends, see you. Just let me know when you're on the way home or whatever.
Yeah, like Martin said on the episode. Peace. Yeah, facts.
Yeah, because because sometimes I just want to be not hearing somebody else in the house.
Sure. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm loud as hell too. So.
He is. The TV loud. If he on the phone, he loud. So when he not here, it's either just me and the TV or me on phone or nothing. It's just solitude.
Yeah.
And I get a moment to actually like clean the house like how I want it to be clean without nobody in the way. Or if he in the living room, then I gotta go around him. Or if he in the kitchen, then I gotta move around him. It's just nobody here. So I'm just doing it. I enjoy that. So it's like times like that where I'm like, I ain't gotta go. I can stay home. Enjoy my peace.
Facts. Yeah, man. All right. Yeah. It's funny because I think on the outside looking in, like you said, people do think that we're always together, but like we know how to both be individuals, but we know we are together. So it's not even an act. It's just part of who we are. So yeah, I like that part of our relationship too. Like we don't gotta. Even though I like the fact that the outside world sees us as attached to the hip, but then we know like the truth, so we locked in, like you said. So yeah, man. Don't let nobody from the outside dictate your relationship. That should probably be self-care rule number 1. Okay. Yeah. All right. So what is this post talking about here at the bottom, baby? So some of the things that people in relationships do for self-care is identifying things about yourself, your hobbies, your interests, your personality traits that make you, which also makes you a desirable partner, right? So, and I think this is something that, this is something that people should think about, right? So like for example, how we talked about the pottery class, like some of our interests are some of the things in a relationship. Some of the self-care tips or traits that we have makes us more valuable as partners. You know what I'm saying? Like one of her biggest complaints is that I don't cook. And if I like just started learning to cook for the fun of it, it'll make me more appealing to her, more probably even to some level more attractive to you. So finding fun in those little self-care things and different ways of kind of exploring parts of myself that I've either neglected or stopped doing, like cooking. You know what I'm saying? So I think that'll be kind of cool. Writing down the subject of hobbies that you enjoy. You know what's interesting that I was thinking about doing? I mean, I don't think you want to do this, but just because we're here, I was thinking about taking an improv class.
Yeah, absolutely not.
The reason why though is because one, I feel like a lot of times I'm in my head when I'm talking or when I'm thinking, and I'm very calculated with what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And because I've become so calculating, I haven't learned to literally freestyle or to just breathe sometimes. Okay. So I feel like an improv class will help me just be on the spot and just be kind of free and not think about the outcome as just operating and just being, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that would be something cool for me to do. You know what I mean? Because that'll probably even help me with this or in general. So, yeah.
So do you feel like you can't do like the first thing that comes here? Like in certain scenarios, obviously it's scenario based.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be able to do like the first thing that comes to your mind or something?
Depends. So typically I'm not a very reactionary person. Okay. Which means that I don't allow my emotions to dictate how I respond to things. Okay. So for example, a lot of times people be like, babe, if I got you a surprise or you always say to me, oh, when I tell you about when we first have our baby, I feel like you're not going to have a response. And the reason why you think that is because I control so much of my emotional responses. Does that make sense? Like I feel everything, but I don't show it automatically. And I think that's because maybe society taught me that as being a man, you can't show your emotion or you shouldn't be always reacting to things. You should be responding to them. And that's a heart. But I feel like the improv class will kind of help with that because there are certain times where I probably need to like snap on people or there's certain times where I need to actually defend myself or stick up for something. And I might feel it, but I might not say it because I'm like, I don't want to look emotional or I don't want to have to deal with this feeling right now. Yeah. Does that make sense? So it's not so much so that I don't have it or I can't do it. It's just because I've gotten really careful at controlling my responses, I don't react at all. And react. And again, life is about balance. We both have to learn how and when to both respond and react, because both of them are equally important. Because like at work, when kids do something cute, or when we have our children, or you want to surprise me with something, I got to be emotional and be like, yo, that's so dope. You know, or even the kids at work, whenever they do stuff, like, oh, okay, that's lit. I like that. Like, and that's just a general reaction. Yeah. So not just being super guarded or thinking too much about what I'm doing or wanting to respond. So, yeah.
Okay. I just wanted more like information as to why like the improv thing, or because I'm like maybe he felt like he can't. But yeah.
It's not that I know I can do it, because to me I've literally coached and conditioned myself to not react. Okay. You understand? So like well, this is a good point. So I want to touch on it before we close out. So it says, don't assume that setting time aside for yourself will harm your relationship or offend your partner, which we kind of touched on, right? But I think that's important because if you're in a relationship with a person who's insecure, yes, do everything you need to do if you actually love them, if you know they're a good person, to make them feel a sense of security in your relationship. But if they feel like you trying to spend time alone is somehow a bad thing or a way to escape them or abandonment, right? Make sure you let them understand, like, nah, like I tell them directly, like, I can't give from no empty cup. If I don't do the things I enjoy, I'm not going to be enjoyable or fun around you, bro. Like, stop playing with me. You know, and I think a lot of people in relationships kind of miss that. Like some people want to be so attached that they don't realize that that's harming the relationship. Yeah. You know what I mean? And luckily we don't have that, but you know, and I would encourage people, like, do your due diligence and talk to your partner, go to therapy both with them and by yourself, whether you're their secure or insecure partner. I would encourage everybody to go to therapy so you can see what type of attachment style you are, what type of the way you think, because the more you spend time alone and you get the self-help that you need, you'll be a better partner and you'll be better for yourself. So yeah. That's a real important point. I just wanted to touch on that. And vocalize the personal boundaries you expect to be upheld in your relationship. Let me read that again. Sorry. Vocalize the personal boundaries you expect to be upheld in your relationship to avoid any miscommunications that may cause you to overthink. I think that's important too, because a lot of times in relationships, people assume that you're a mind reader. So you want to make sure it's always better to over communicate than under communicate. Because a lot of times in relationships, we assume that our partner knows what we're thinking and they don't. Right. Yeah. So make sure you take the time to communicate that boundary, to communicate your intention, to communicate what you're feeling, because sometimes we think, oh, well, they know me enough. And it's like, yeah, true. But sometimes they need to know you a little bit more, or this might be something new that you're going through, a new feeling you might be experiencing, or a new perception you might have that you haven't fully explained or fleshed out to them, and they need to know. So make sure that you, when something is new, especially, and in general, explain, like give them a little bit more explanation than the usual. So yeah.
I agree.
That's a good concept to live by, because that's important. That's really important. Okay, shoot. Any more on self-care? Any more thoughts, baby? Any self-care tips you want to recommend that you think people aren't doing that they should? Something that like you do it, for example.
It's something that I do that I think people should do.
You know, I'm thinking about for you.
What?
You have an I don't care type of spirit, yeah, and I feel like if I not me, because I kind of I like to care a little bit, just a little bit, because I got that kind of spirit too sometimes. But I feel like if people kind of adopted that kind of I don't care about how people see me, or I don't care about the outcome. I'm just comfortable being me. And you have that kind of spirit about you when it comes to certain things. I feel like if people adopted that, I feel like self-care will be a lot easier for them. You know what I mean?
I mean, because obviously self-care is a part of self-esteem too, a little bit. So
it's directly tied to it. Like how much you think you're deserving of is how much you give yourself. So yeah, without question. So, maybe we should have an episode about self-esteem, but we'll see. Maybe y'all
self-confidence.
Let us know what y'all think. Should we have an episode about self-esteem? Comment below. Let us know. Yeah. Or no. So yeah, but yeah, baby. I think self-care is really important, and people should really just consider it and have a I don't care spirit, because it's gonna get done regardless. It's gonna be fine. Trust me. Yeah. So just take care of yourself. It ain't no point in you not taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Yeah.
You don't always have to do everything together. You can do stuff by yourself.
Shoot. And
even if you want to go, I don't think I will ever do that. But sometimes I'll be thinking about it. But I'm like, if I just go to like dinner or lunch by myself. I just don't think I'm that type of. I just don't think I'm that type of person. But I know there's some people that do it. So,
I mean, I'm not gonna hold you though, baby. I've been to the movies by myself. Have I been out to eat by myself? I might have been, but I feel like even if you do those things, just to like say like, oh, I want to try a restaurant, and like if you want to try a restaurant of something of a type of food that I don't eat, for example, which ain't much, but whatever. I feel like that'll be dope. You know what I'm saying? You'll probably get hit on, but we're here. But I feel like that'll be dope. Or even go to a movie that you want to see. Don't be afraid to do some of those things that society deems as bad by yourself. Shoot, because I've been to the movies by myself to watch certain movies. I was like, yo, y'all want to go to watch it? And it was like, nah, I went by myself, okay?
I never did that.
I've done it.
And I never thought to go to a movie by myself. I just never thought about that. I've thought about the whole dinner thing, but yeah. Yeah,
go to the movies by yourself. Go to dinner by yourself. I mean, beach by yourself is kind of self-explanatory, all those other things. But I think it's important, because some of the experience you give yourself will tell you how you want to be treated. So yeah, it's something to consider. It's definitely something to consider. Yeah. So any last thoughts before we close? Why do I sound like a preacher every time I say that?
Don't just love yourself.
Yeah, love yourself. That's the one right there, y'all. Love yourself. Stop playing. Love yourself. Take care of yourself, because you're the only you got. So love yourself. You know, respect yourself too. Now, don't forget to respect. Now, you know what I'm saying. And I think with that, I said that I have a personal quote in my head, right, which is basically, love is what you say yes to, or self-love is what you say yes to. Self-respect is what you say no to. So learn to figure out the difference between the two, because both are important for self-care. So yeah, that's my little final wrap-up thought. So yeah.
And on that note, we're out.
This has been Relationship Wise. Peace. Make sure to subscribe and follow. All right, we out. Bye.